Blue Ridge Mountains, these two tremendous institutions battle for bragging rights and position in the ACC standings. This Commonwealth clash is embedded in the culture here between the Cavs and the Hokies as they fight for their fan base's pride. Now the battle turns to the pitch at Thompson Field as number 5 Virginia takes on Virginia Tech. Next on the ACC Network. Beautiful night here in Blacksburg, Virginia, as the Hokies get set to host their rivals, the Cavaliers. Virginia coming in 1-0 after knocking off Louisville in overtime, and Virginia Tech 0-1 after falling on the road at Pitt 4-2. Alongside Michael Lahoud, former Wake Forest Demon Deacon and national champion, I am Dallin Cuff. Michael, they say throughout the stats, when you talk about a rivalry, we're just going to show you them real quick. Virginia has dominated this. They have not lost to the Hokies since 2005 on the pitch. That said, both coaches think the last 4 or 5 years, this is a different story, a highly competitive match. Tonight should be no different. And for the Hokies to flip the script, the key is in the midfield. Daniel Pereira, why is he so important?
Danny Pereira is a magician. He is everything the Hokies have been hoping for. He is a guy that needs to get going for this game. And you see 5 goals, 5 assists, coming off a monster year last year for freshmen, and this year, can we see him evolve? The Hokies need him to be the main man in the middle, and it's going to be a midfield matchup, and a big game from him is going to be a big game for Virginia Tech. Now on the other side, we have Andreas Ulam, the big Norwegian, who has a big presence, and he needs to have a big game. He's going to be the guy who's going to lead this back line tonight. And this UVA team, young UVA team, they need a leader and they need someone who has presence. And he will lead this team. A big game from him, and the UVA Cavaliers will win this game.
Third team All-ACC, all-freshman team, played every game last year. They'll need him to stand tall in the back. When we come back, we'll have the full starting 11. Number of changes for UVA despite the win. Starting 11's a kickoff coming your way after the break. Welcome back to Thompson Field. Let's get you the starting lineups. UVA coming off the 2-1 win. George Geldovach, though, wasn't too pleased with the performances. 4 changes in this group. Michael, what jumps out to you that we should be focusing on here?
The player that I'm big on is Joan Gibert, the Spaniard coming in the midfield. He had a great game last game. He provided the goods to get UVA over the top in the game. They didn't play too well. Look for him to be a big presence and a big factor in this game if they're going to win.
He had an assist, also helped create the penalty in overtime that gave them the W in the 4-4-2 for Mike Brizendine. Christo Strickler back-to-back All-ACC performer. He's got to have goals tonight for them to win.
Yeah, he's their main man up top. He's got pace by the boatloads, and he needs to be lethal in the opposition box for Virginia Tech to have a chance at winning this game.
And we're underway here from Blacksburg. Hokies and the Cavs. Early opportunity maybe for Strickler. Shot just shanked wide, but didn't expect that quick.
No, when we talk about early start, Virginia Tech showing their intent there. Strickler getting in behind, and he's got a goal scorer's nose, and almost paid off there.
Right off the kickoff. This is a Virginia Tech team that has gone to 4 straight NCAA tournaments. They've had a lot of success under Mike Brizendine as of late. That's a record, 4 straight tourneys. For them to get a win here today, what needs to happen for them? What is the key for the game for you, Mike, for the Hokie side?
Talk about fast start. They need to have a better start. The last game against Pitt, they started very slow. Pitt was up early in that game, and they were chasing the game left and right, and ultimately it wasn't good enough. And so this game you're seeing here, fast start, and we'll see if they keep this going.
And on the other side for UVA, fast start for Virginia Tech. But UVA, what are you looking at for them?
Oh, transition. Defensive transition to be exact. Last time out, they gave up a lot of opportunities against Louisville, big opportunities. Against a sharper team, they would have been punished. They got the result, but look for them to remedy that with Halsey and Gibert in that midfield.
This is Caio Ignacio, the freshman, getting his first start in a UVA jersey. Tries to make the pass to Brett Halsey in the midfield. Doesn't come together. Cabral Happy Kamseyu, though, on the quick repress, gets the turnover. Stepping forward is João Gibert. Mentioned him over the lineup graphic. The graduate student, Spaniard. First time playing college soccer. Had a great first outing. Ignacio battling, trying to find Axel Gunnarsson. The Swedish striker, the sophomore. Number 18 in white, but could not connect. Matt Zambetti back in goal for the Hokies in place of Matthias Swaneveld. Matthias Swaneveld's been an outstanding keeper for the Hokies for both years he's been here, but he's injured right now. Zambetti deputizing for him.
As we see here early on, both teams are just feeling each other out. Virginia there, you see Swaneveld on the sidelines. Virginia there, I think, trying to break to the end line. But this is how rivalry games usually start. Starts fast, and then it settles down a bit. So look for Virginia Tech and UVA to still feel each other out in the next couple minutes.
Michael, you played at Wake Forest. You mentioned you won a national championship there. When you're in these rivalry games, what's the key to kind of settling into the game and not letting your emotions get too much, if you will?
Well, there's usually one player who he's your guy that puts a foot on the ball. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And once that starts happening, it's a domino effect, and other players start settling down.
This UVA team, a young roster, lost a lot of talent from last year's team that won the ACC regular season. They won the tournament. They were the national runner-up. But they lost a number of key players from that squad, including, to your point, put your foot on the ball, Joe Bell, the midfielder of the year in the conference, now playing professionally in Norway. Here's Dick Blacklock on the ball. Head off to Jacob Blumler, getting back forward from his right back position. There's Pereira, the man we featured in the pregame. Mayola Kinua plays it out wide.
You'd like to see Virginia Tech a little bit more patient there. There weren't enough numbers in the box, but they did well to start knocking the ball around, make this Virginia backline move. Turn.
Nice distribution by Uland to get it to Horton. A lot of space for Kinua. Cameron Lennon in the midfield. Junior from Austin, Texas on the ball. Poor turnover there by Brett Halsey, 8 and white.
Yeah, that midfield matchup of Kinua and Halsey is going to be paramount. Whichever one of them can control that midfield, can be more of a presence and defensive-minded presence, break up counterattacks, their teammates are going to be thanking them at the final whistle.
One of those key guys will be Halsey. As George Gellenvash told us, he loves Halsey's potential, thinks he can be a pro, but was not pleased with his first performance in that game against Louisville. This is a Virginia team that had a number of their preseason games, exhibition games, and then early season games. This was rescheduled. Other cancellations as Uland just drags down Christo Strickler. This may be an early yellow for the center back.
I see here Uland gets caught in possession, and he has to take him down. It's unfortunate, and you don't want your big center back making those type of mistakes at midfield, and it's the only thing he can do there. See what happens with the card.
First decision for Sergio Gonzalez, the official in the middle, and it's a big one.
Poke down here a little bit. Yeah.
And I mean, Michael, is there a more deserving yellow card than that?
Yeah, he rugby tackled him, but hey, in games like this, looks like the ref doesn't want to make the big call to start this game, and Uland gets away with one there.
We mentioned Joe Bell playing professionally in Norway, but he's not the only one that left from the Cavaliers. These are all underclassmen. Daryl Dike is doing a great job at Orlando. Henry Kessler, outstanding for Revolution, we're playing tonight. Daniel Stevens playing at Atlanta, too. This nice ball played over the top to Ignacio. Part of the Houston Dynamo Academy. Tries to play across. It's cleared out. Iracosa Donaciano couldn't settle it. Michael, we talk about those pros. I mean, those are all underclassmen. They lost Robin Afemafuna as well, a senior, and some other talented guys. I mean, how do you recover as a program when you lose underclassmen at that point in time that are so talented that you have to replace them?
Well, those guys in the pros are doing wonders. You see DK, who is not just a beast in college, he is an absolute beast in the pros, scoring goals. Hessler's doing well with the Revs, and with this Virginia team, when guys like that leave, that means new guys get to step up. So we'll see who steps up in games like this, rivalry games tonight.
Almost a chance to step up there for Philip Horton. as Donaciano played a ball into the sophomore Horton, who scored the game-winning goal, the penalty in overtime, double overtime, to beat Louisville last week. Donaciano, number 11 there, is a junior. He's third-team All-ACC last year, fourth in the team in points. Dynamic player. He played more centrally last year, but he's out on the wing to start this match.
Drop in, Cozy, drop in.
And we talk about the Virginia program. This is the man responsible for help building a dynasty. In his 25th season as head coach, George Gelnevach, you see that record, 339 wins, two-time national champ. They were the runners-up last year, lost in a heartbreaking penalty shootout after a wild 3-3 game against Georgetown. He's got 89 ACC wins. He is one shy of 90, third all-time, but he's only the third person to get to 90 wins in the ACC if they can get a W here against their rival. Horton draws the foul. Juan Gilbert will be over the ball.
As you see on the free kick here, as we talk about Gelnevach, he's a guy that I know very well from my time at Wake Forest. They're probably our biggest rivals alongside Maryland and Carolina. He is a taskmaster and just one of the great soccer minds of the modern era. He could very well get 90 plus with starting tonight's game, but have a lot of respect for Coach Gelnevach and games played against him. And he will do wonders with this Cavaliers team. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, he's won a ton of games. Been at UVA, whether a player, assistant coach, or head coach, for all 7 of their titles. He's been involved in over 30 years. But they're always all about winning. And he plays a very European style, as he's told us before. We saw it for years. He doesn't sub very much. And it is all about winning, but with the different season we're in this year, where there is no national champion in the fall, it'll be in the spring if everything goes well, he's taken a more developmental approach, which I thought was interesting. This is a very young crew. We've got a number of sophomores that have experience, but a lot of freshmen, some transfers. So he's giving guys more time off the bench and some starts to really bed in at this program, and maybe will yield fruit in maybe the spring or years to come.
Yeah, he's methodical, and I think he's taking the right approach. These young guys need games, and when you have the season split up the way it is, especially with this week where you have multiple games in 1 week, I think it's very smart for him to give other guys chances to rotate, and more than anything, to get guys in the game early. We talked about a guy from the last game, Leo Alfonso, freshman, who he now knows a bit more about. He's got a little bit of something to him, a little bit of guile, and look for him to come into this game and make an impact.
Alfonso came in the game and was really good in the game against Louisville, drew the foul in the box that led to the penalty winner. He's a freshman from Boynton Beach, Florida, actually born in Sao Paulo, Alfonso, but he will be making an appearance, I'm sure, sometime in the first half. Rafael Kaipo pings it out to Yulin. Donaciano able to battle through the challenge. Oh, great turn by Cabral Happy Comseu. He didn't play in the Louisville game, folks. 20 in white is a very talented player, battling injuries, was a former All-ACC freshman team player 2 years ago, was tied for the team lead on goals for that squad. Tons of injuries last year. He scored in the ACC tournament final against Clemson. Hopefully if that young man can get healthy, he really had something for the Cavs.
Yeah, you see that turn there for such a big guy. He's got happy feet, if you will. Showed happy feet there. And, man, they can keep him healthy. He will be that much more dangerous, and this team will be that much more dangerous going into this fall season.
Rafael Kaipo plays it to Donaciano. Kaipo, another one guy getting his first start in a Cavs jersey, first performance in a Cavs jersey. Nice ball played through the lines to Horton. Horton, heavy touch, took him into trouble. Blacklock will be able to settle it. Play over to Lennon. Pereira on the ball. Striding forward into some space. Got options. Through ball pass, looking for Jacob Labovitz. He's onside, crosses it, and Strickler!
Oh.
A sinner, he misses it, one of the best goal scorers in the league.
Oh, this play here starts with Perea. He plays it to Labovitz, who whips in the cross, gets through that back line, and Strickler has the goal wide open. Needs to do better there. We see again the replay. Whips it in, one bounce over the bar, doesn't get over it. Needs to do better there from your top goal scorer. Here again from the back, keeper's in no man's land and just does not get over it. Leans back, and that's what causes the ball to go over the goal.
He's a senior, he's a captain, he scored 26 goals for the Hokies, second team all-league last year, but that one he will want back.
But as you see that play there, the quality of Perea, just to be able to beat his man, spin off of him, leave him in the dust, and then make that inch-perfect pass. That, I can see why Coach Briz is really high on him.
Perea, an outstanding player, was all freshman team last year and was the only freshman to be invited to in the conference, to be invited to the MLS Combine, scouting combine in the spring. But he is back here at Virginia Tech, and Coach Brizendine's happy about that. For now. Nice 1-2. Kamseu battling with Kunua. And eventually Sergio Gonzalez pulls it back.
Yellow, no? Yellow. Yellow card.
I see here Kamseu and Kunua just getting in that little scuffle. He throws his hands up saying, hey, ref, what's going on? But I think that those two, whoever wins that battle in particular, Happy's a big body, and those guys are really hard to keep track of in that midfield. But, keep an eye on those two battling out as the game goes on.
George Gelnovac said they're going to play with him as Happy as kind of a 10 for them, a creative midfield will drop in there, and he's got a little bit of a free role to kind of go find the game and make things happen. And we've mentioned him a couple times, Coach Mike Brizendine, 12th year at Virginia Tech. 4 straight NCAA tournaments. That is a record here at Virginia Tech. He's really turned this program around and got them going on the right track. And George Gelnovac couldn't have said more complimentary things about him, especially saying these last 4 or 5 years in this rivalry game has been brutal, despite UVA coming out on top. Not easy, to say the least.
Yeah, talking to him before the game, he was excited about this game. He played it down with the rivalry and everything, but make no mistake about it, he is looking to get his first win against Coach Gelnovac, and this Virginia Tech looks up for this game so far.
In transition, Labovitz pings it out to Blaylock, excuse me. Blaylock lays it off to Pereira. He's got some space. Nice dummy. Heavy touch by McDowell. Can he catch up to it? He does. Opportunity. Falls for Labovitz. Blocked in front. One more for Blaylock. Put off the line by Ulen.
Wow. How did that not go in? UVA throwing bodies in and around that goal, and they just saved the day with 2 timely blocks.
And Sergio Gonzalez, the referee, getting an earful there, because Pereira did look like he got knocked down by Kamseu, but no call.
That ball gets whipped out wide. Heavy touch to the byline. Chips it to the center part of the goal. Strickler up there. One volley gets blocked. Other play shot. Defender there. This is Ulen there to save the day. Could have been 1-0 Virginia Tech.
But 15 minutes in, Michael, this is what George Gelnovac was saying. He did not like the fact there were so many opportunities when they played Louisville. This is a Virginia team that was the best defensive team in the country last year, and they look like a young team right now. How do you try to settle it down and avoid what's happened through the first 15 minutes? I mean, the Hokies have had some great chances.
Well, I think it starts in that midfield like we talked about. Their midfielders have way too much time. And right now there's a mismatch. Virginia Tech tends to play narrow in that midfield with overloading numbers. And once they get it to Perea, there needs to be numbers around Perea. And right now he's having a field day. He's creating a couple different chances. And for UVA, with Halsey in particular, you see here on the replay, foul as it goes to the corner there. But Halsey needs to get tighter on Perea for Virginia to nip this in the bud.
See Rafael Kaipo getting the foul there, the central defender, the middle of this 3-back defense. He is a talented young man, but again, freshman, first time playing college soccer, comes from Peru, was played in the U15, U17 down there, high-level competition, was the captain of the U17 team, but he's having a little bit of a tough day figuring this out, as overall all of UVA is to start this game. Pereira to take the free kick. went for goal off the bar, and Sergio Gonzalez says it was tipped by
I
Shuttler.
like that. See Pereira there, whips it in, tries to catch Shuttler near post, and almost does off the bar. Gives him the eyes a bit, and bang, right off the bar there.
Doesn't sound right with my lack of accent here, but that was cheeky, to say the least.
Yeah, that's well said on that one. Almost gave him the eyes.
Yeah, tough angle, and he went for goal anyway. Now Pereira with the outswinging ball. Lennon rose to it, just didn't get a good header on it. And Sivert Haugli, the captain center back, tried to save it, couldn't quite get there. The sophomore from Oslo, Norway.
Yeah, go in front of him, Carl.
Nathan Durst dispossessed. Axel Gunnarsson's on it. Holds it up, waits for some reinforcements. Ignacio, Gibert. Kamseu stepping into some space.
I like that decision there by Kamseu to slow it down and let the other attackers come up the field with him, because oftentimes you see attacking players want to rush when they see the gate halfway open there. But great awareness by him to bring his teammates into the play.
Gibert to take the free kick. Low ball played in. Gunnarsson got it on it, but couldn't put it on frame. All right, women's soccer coming your way. Doubleheader for you tomorrow. Number 2 Florida State taking on Pitt and Amanda West, the leading goal scorer in women's college soccer. That's at 6 Eastern. Then number 11 Virginia hosting Louisville. Number 13 at Klockner Stadium in Charlottesville. Both games are right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Nice job by Gibert to get his head up, find Halsey. Howley gets his head on it. Lennon riding the challenge nicely. Falls back to Kaipo. Oliver Gerbig, junior, transfer from Coastal Carolina, 5 white.
As we see here, the way Virginia Tech is lining up defensively is they are letting the defenders of Virginia have the ball and playing long balls like this over the top, and then their 2 center midfielders are going man for man against the 2 holding midfielders from Virginia and snuffing out that midfield entryways for passes in there.
Do you like that approach?
I do. It's forcing your defenders to make the game. Obviously, when Ulam gets the ball, he's better on the ball, and so you have to spring traps and be aware of the gaps that lay in between lines. But you make other players make the game, and not their 2 center midfielders.
12 going in for 21.
Tech makes the first sub of the game. Andrew Weber, the junior from Virginia, former All-State player at Earlysville, Virginia, checks in for Cameron Lennon in the midfield.
Yeah, I like the shift that Lennon put in for this first half of the first half so far.
Gerbig back on the ball. 2 years he played at Coastal Carolina. They actually beat NC State in the NCAA tournament last year, ended NC State's season, but then Gerbig transferring into an ACC school here at Virginia. Poor pass by Euland. Oh, Strickler was trying to leave it. And flag is up on Gunnarsson.
Yeah, you see Euland getting a little lackadaisical there. He's good on the ball, but it's twice now we've seen in the first half he's gotten caught.
Gunnarsson saying just a little bit. Good look. Sophomore. He started 23 of 24 matches last year, the Swede. Scored in that Clemson ACC final as well. Scored in an NCAA tournament game as well. A win over SMU. Pinged out wide. Blumler getting forward. Got options to his right. Lobovitz plays him. Floated in. Oh, the header! Another opportunity for Tech.
That was a close one. Tech is knocking at the door.
Blaylock had a great opportunity.
Lobovitz with another inch-perfect cross, and wow, just gets his head on it. See here on the replay, other angle. Miscue on the header a bit. Should have finished. Tech has had ample amount of opportunities to make this a 1-0 game.
Halsey rides the challenge nicely, gets to Horton. Donaciano making his run forward. Horton put a lot on it, asking a lot of Donaciano, but he gets there. 2v1. Weber pressures him out of possession. Gerbig forward to Ignacio. Horton making the run to the left. Ignacio cuts inside but loses possession and committed a foul.
Yeah, Virginia's not having any success coming down the middle, so they go out wide, and here we see a heavy first touch, and it leads to a collision, clumsy foul, ball the other way.
Crossing into the bottom of the hour here on ACC Network, alongside Michael Lahoud, former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, national champion in the 2007 squad. I'm Dallin Cuff here at Thompson Field in Blacksburg, Virginia, for a Commonwealth clash. 0-0 right now, but the Hokies have definitely had the better of the chances and honestly should be up 1, maybe even 2-0 on the Cavs. And the Cavs are the reigning ACC tournament champs, ACC regular season share champs, and national runner-up. The Hokies are putting it on them right now.
Virginia Tech has been pretty dominant so far, creating the clear of the chances. I think that overload on the flanks against the wingbacks of UVA is creating a lot of problems for them, and Coach Geldovats needs to address that as this half wanes on.
See if they make any adjustments in half. It's usually pretty tough to do that. Chris Little checks on for Dick Blaylock, the latest Hokie Blaylock that had a golden tilt-edge opportunity for a goal. He was hurt that he couldn't put it on frame, the header. But now Little, the sophomore, is in. Floated in, Christo Strickler at it. Trickles through to Colin Shuttler. And we're talking about the struggling defense. Shuttler is not bad, folks. He may be the best goalkeeper in college soccer. Outstanding resume. He's been second-team All-ACC 2 years ago, first-team All-ACC. He's the first in the country in terms of active goalkeepers and his goals against average. And he's the guy you want in between the sticks. He's the reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Week because he really saved him against Louisville. He made a number of great saves.
Without Shuttler against Louisville, this Virginia team would
Gunnarsson
have gotten
cuts it back. Quick restart here.
What I like that Tech's done so far is Pereiro's getting a lot of touches. As we said in the open, he's a guy that needs to get on the ball as much as possible, and he's been pretty dominant so far.
Kaipo. He's looking long again to Ignacio.
Get over.
Donaciano working that right wing again. Good turn by Gibert. Battled out by McDowell.
Go, Halsey.
So what's going up on Sunday? Sunday Best features a field hockey match between Duke and Carolina at noon Eastern, followed by a women's soccer match between Miami and Pitt at 1:30 Eastern. Then it's a women's volleyball doubleheader. Number 10 Pitt squares off against number 5 Notre Dame, and Virginia takes on Virginia Tech, another Commonwealth clash in Blacksburg to round out our Sunday Best. All right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Strickler gets it out to Blumler. Ignacio and Gerby trying to get us in trouble. They find Happy Kamseu. Quickly in transition, pulled down by Little.
Down the theme they've seen so far. Showing the replay, Happy breaking the lines off the dribble. It's a big body, and Tech has to bring him down. They have no other choice.
You were saying there's something you've noticed here. What were you going to say?
Yeah, the theme I've seen so far is Virginia Tech is doing a good job of finding entry passes, Strickler in particular, and then from there, they're turning and finding the other side of the field and breaking that Virginia press in that midfield.
What does Virginia do to counter that?
I think that Happy needs to do a better job defensively. He's too far up. When the play breaks down, he's walking back, and that leaves the midfield two exposed to the counter.
Gunnarsson tracking back hard a little bit there, trying to make a play on the ball, but the Hokies retain possession. Haugley. Pereira drops deep to get a touch. Drives it out to Little. Gets it out from under his feet.
Get up! Oh, it's in the air, Axel. Good. Get ready for the channel. Get ready for the channel. Go, Phil.
Pereira dancing around, finding some space to Little. Closed down quickly, though. Sergio Gonzalez says no foul there. Little's got Blumler behind him, plays him. Kamseu stepping forward. Sergio Gonzalez may come into action here as Uland is taken down. And yeah, first card brandished of the match to Jacob Labovitz.
Yellow card here. See on the replay, Uland driving forward out of that right center back position. And it's just an unnecessary push. He wasn't going anywhere. He was breaking that first line, and that's a for sure yellow.
That's one of the ones I'm like, what are you thinking? Like, I mean, does he need to commit that foul that way at that point? Is it that important?
I don't know if he was thinking there. It was just looked like a frustration foul. It's those that drive coaches crazy. You see him getting subbed out there, having a little talking to, but he cannot be doing that.
couple subs came in, and you can't be doing that.
There's no other way to say it. You just,
Yeah.
I can imagine those conversations going. I know at Wake, Jay Vidovich would have just been like, what are you doing? Don't do that.
So he did get subbed out there, he being Labovitz for Khalil Dover. Dover, the sophomore from Reston, Virginia.
Down the theme that I've seen so far from Virginia has been they've just been bypassing that midfield and lumping hopeful balls into Gunnarsson and hoping for the best. And they're going to need a little bit more than that than throwing Hail Mary passes forward, because Virginia Tech has just been dominating that midfield.
Now you can go. Kaya, wide.
That is interesting. I mean, they're trying to playing a different style. A lot of different guys we mentioned before with this group, and a lot of these guys are from all over the world. And COVID comes into play here, because talking to George Gelnovac, it was really hard, as it was for many programs, to get their guys here. And a lot of these guys have only got here in the last 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. Some of them weren't fully fit. You got to get to full fitness. They had a lot of issues getting guys back into the country. But then on top of that, the not being able to play games in the preseason, having their first game just be the past week, a lot of challenges for George Gelnovac and this crew. Granted, everybody's living them, but UVA had a number of them given their international roster. To your point, Michael, they got all these changing things going on, different system, and the midfield was one of their strengths. They thought their strength with Joe Bell last year. He literally dictated the tempo. So this is a big change to see with this UVA team, how they're playing, at least in this match right now, given some of the challenges.
One of the challenges that they're facing is they're missing one of their main scoring threats as well up in the attack. And so we talk about attacking opponents and big-name opponents missing from last year. Add that to the fold, including match sharpness, then this Virginia team has a lot that they need to address going into this game and beyond.
Number of subs here came on. Number 12, Kevin Ogadugu, a sophomore from Norway. Also dual citizen for Nigeria and played on their U20 team. He checked in for Philip Horton. And Spencer Patton, number 7, checked in the game as well for Kai Ignacio, who was playing out wide in the left spot, left wing. Shuttler off his line to handle this. Dover gave chase. Halsey has a little room to step forward. Close down to Naciano quickly, but he maintains possession.
Shift them, good. Shift them. Get in.
Gadugu tried to dummy it and almost came off, almost got to Happy Kamseu. He's now playing a little further up the pitch. He was in that kind of center attacking midfield 10 role. Now he looks more like he's moved up to be a forward with some of these substitutions.
Come on, Kevin.
I like that move from Coach Gelnovac. Happy's a big, big boy, and he's been out of that midfield. He's not giving as much defensively, so if you push him further up, a slip by a defender or a 50-50, and you put your money on him to get to there first.
Ready, Cabral.
Nathan Durst brings it down comfortably. Nice job by Dover to get it out there to Little. Pereira on the ball. It's obvious to see Pereira on the ball, yeah, but his movement, what do you like about his movement?
His movement, I like that he is the freedom. Coach Briz talked about they have given him the keys to the city to go wherever he needs to go to make this game. To take over a game, you need to have the freedom to find the ball, and you see his intelligence. He sucks players in with the dip of the shoulder. He can beat you on the dribble. He can make the final pass. He has a lot of the tools to be a successful player, not just this year, but even in the pros, I think.
Drive at him. Drive at him. You got Spencer.
Yeah, coaches across the league feel like he's got pro potential, and he's showing it right now. Nice knockdown header by Patton to Kamseu. He's got Gunnarsson to the right.
Pass.
Halsey. Gibert.
Right.
Halsey played a little bit to a difficult spot there for Kaipo.
Hey, take care of the ball. Hey, come on, Andreas. Brett, take care of the ball.
The game has really started slowing down a bit. Both teams have put a lot of energy into this first half. And when that happens, it's because of tired legs and tired minds, if you will. A lot of turnovers. You see here right before midfield, pinballing back and forth. And I'm looking for who's going to be the guy to make the ball do the work rather than running up and down and making this an open game.
You mentioned some tired legs. I mean, both these teams are only one game into their season. And, you know, Virginia Tech played at Pitt just 4 days ago. Louisville played just 5 days ago. And they both have a match coming up this weekend. So, given all the time we had before the season, it seemed like games would be more spaced out. But obviously different COVID issues have changed scheduling. And we are here, and a bunch of games kind of crammed together for both these clubs.
This is a new format for everyone. This is a new feel. And as a player, you need all the games you can get to gain sharpness. But as a coach, you're going to need to rely on your subs, and you're going to rotate the lineup as much as you can to get as many guys games.
George Geltemash said he's going to do just that. He's not known for that, as we said earlier. As Gunnarsson now might have some space here down the right side. McDowell tries to close him down.
Pass, go.
Halsey. Patton. Try to play it to Ogadugu. Doesn't connect. Saturday, we got a college football triple header for you here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Pitt trying to come back off back-to-back losses. Ain't going to be easier. Taking on De'Ara King in Miami, number 13. Miami also licking their wounds still from that Clemson game. That's at noon Eastern. Then Virginia takes on Wake Forest. And at 8, number 23, Virginia Tech hosts Boston College in Blacksburg on an ACC Network primetime matchup presented by Geico. Here from Lane Stadium, just across the street.
I know who I'll be rooting for the Virginia-Wake Forest game. Make no doubt about that.
The Cavaliers?
Try again.
That is Michael LaHood, former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, part of that 07 national championship team on the pitch. Alex Ajetti checked in for Christo Strickler. Ajetti, a freshman, originally born in Akwagana, but played at South Kent in Connecticut. Was an all-state guy there. Third team All-America per USA Today. Freshman getting some minutes here in a big game. Eventually turned over, and Guibert's got a little bit of space now, which is rare for him, but he plays it back to Patton, and Patton miskicks it.
As we see, with almost 5 minutes left, I think there's been a tweak in the formation. Looks like instead of 2 strikers, Happy's gone up almost as an attacking midfield, and the formation's changed to a 5-4-1 for Virginia.
What do you think that gives them, or how does that help them, and what's going on here?
Defensively, it gives them an extra man in the midfield to cope with the dominance that Tech has had so far. And offensively, you want Happy running at that back line with the ball at his feet. He's a juggernaut. And you see Tech, the only way they can deal with him is bringing him down.
Number 20, White. Cabral Happy Kamseu. We try to draw a foul there. Nothing doing from Sergio Gonzalez. A lot of space again for Pereira. Time. Kanua shorted him on the pass, but was able to get it back. And Halsey was caught on the top of his boot.
I wish it was.
And I believe Happy Kamsei, who's coming out right now. He's limping a bit, but he will stay in the match.
Give us cover, give us cover.
Oh, nice move by Patton, but good help there by Blumler. Good work by Dover on the ball. No call there now. Kanua picks up the loose ball. Jetty to his left on the ball. Oh, nice cutback by Jetty. Might have a shot. Oh, just wide. Ooh, the freshman is a spark plug.
What a play. The play starts with Kanua, who drives it through that midfield, gets it to Jetty. He beats one, makes the other miss, and toe pokes it. Here again, toe pokes it. I love the innovation. Toe pokes it just past that post. Again, should have been another goal, Virginia Tech. How many chances do they get this goal?
That's the thing. How many chances? You don't want to have that to come back and bite you, but they've taken 8 shots. 1 has been on goal. And some of those opportunities have been just golden.
Well, that's something in rivalry games like this. Oftentimes, it's not the team that's dominant in all the stats. It's the team that gets the goal. If you're the team that's not getting as many shots on goal, but you're getting a lot of shots, beware, because Virginia could end up stealing this game if Virginia Tech does not capitalize on one of these goals heading into half, or at least coming out of the next half.
That's not abnormal for this Virginia club, though. I mean, they get outshot quite a bit. I mean, last year they were outshot 7 times in matches. They only lost 1 of them. That was the national final against Georgetown in PKs after drawing 3-3, but they won a lot of ACC games. Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, UNC, Clemson, Wake, Georgetown, Louisville. Minus that Georgetown game. These are all ACC opponents. They got outshot, but they won the game in the end.
Well, in the end, the only stat that matters is what happens in the box score. And George Gelnovatz's teams have been known to be the teams that find ways to win. When you have young players, it's a crucible of sorts where they have to learn how to win ugly, they have to learn how to win pretty, and tonight they have been second best so far, but it's still 0-0, and they're in this game.
It was very similar to the Louisville game, Michael. In all honesty, they won that game 2-1 in double overtime, but George said outside of the fact that we found a way to win, I wasn't that pleased, but they found a way to win, but Louisville had tons of opportunities, and they did not take them, especially early in the match.
With a young group, every game, every moment, every learned lesson counts. And we'll see as this game goes on and into half what lessons they've learned. I think that Virginia Tech's dominance in the midfield is something that we talked about before at the start of the game with the midfield transition. I think UVA hasn't done well with that. They're not keeping enough numbers around Perea. Every time he gets the ball, he has time and space to dictate, but they're keeping themselves in this game. They're getting goal line blocks from Ulam and other players, and they're throwing bodies on the line.
And you see Kanua, he was getting a talking to, but Brett Halsey came in with a late shove, but Kanua, part of the problem is Kanua was trying to stop the restart, standing on the ball, and I think that's why he was getting talked to by Sergio Gonzalez. Quick substitution note for UVA, Leo Afonso, we talked about earlier, the freshman, born in Sao Paulo, but came up from Florida. Checked in for Cabral Happy Kamseo, played in, header, just wide. I know you've liked Kanua early in this game too. What has been so impactful about him in the midfield?
Saw in that last replay, he's been fierce. He's had a presence, he's been that midfield general. When in the build-up, he's been aware enough to give space for Pereira, and as we see here, he gets the ball, he's made the simple plays, and that's what you want from your holding midfielder, a high connection rate, and when you need to, break plays up, and he's done just that.
Good. Go, Danny, don't go.
10 seconds left, and they were pushing forward. It's out for a corner. Clock is still running. Trying to get it in quickly. It's played in quickly. Opportunity, maybe. Weber was there, but in the end, it sums it up. An opportunity slips through the fingers of the Hokies. The number 5 team in the nation has struggled in this game. It is 0-0 Hokies in the Cavaliers. And we come back, we'll take a look around the ACC, and after that later, we'll break down the first half. Halftime here at Blacksburg, probably still 0-0 as Virginia Tech has had a bunch of chances but could not capitalize. This is a big game in the standings, folks, as we take a look. This year there is the North Region and the South Region in the ACC. This is a North Region game. They will play each opponent once. UVA and Virginia Tech will play each other twice to make their 6 ACC games. But the South Region got a big game coming up this weekend. North Carolina 2-0. They beat Clemson, knocked them off, but Clemson just beat Wake Forest. So we still have a top 5 matchup coming up this weekend, Michael Ode. With your alma mater involved, what stands out to you between 1 versus 3?
Wake Forest, Carolina is always a massive game. Wake's coming off that loss against Clemson, and Coach Bobby Muse is going to have this team fired up. And on the other side of things, we see Pitt, who have come out like barn burners. They're 2-0 in the conference, and Pekovic, he has been the star of that team and the offensive player of the week. So look for Pitt to keep on rolling, but that Wake-Carolina match is mouthwatering for this weekend.
It really is. Pitt-UVA game will be a great one as well. And Pitt, they've been looking outstanding. You take a look at the co-defensive players of the week, Colin Shuttler, for what he did between the sticks for UVA to beat Louisville, 8 great saves. But then Filippo Zatarin had the game winner for UNC at the buzzer, the final second, folks, as you saw earlier in our halftime, that gave them the win over Clemson. Those are your news and notes from around the conference. When we come back, we'll take a little bit closer look at what went on here in the first 45 and also what needs to change for each team in the second 45. Here from Blacksburg, we're back in a minute.
It doesn't matter to me what it is, it works.
Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-658-8753 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard. I can use my phone. I love this glove.
Ask for it by name. Copperfit Compression Gloves.
Welcome back to Blacksburg, Virginia. Well, alongside Michael LaHood, I'm Dallin Cuff. Virginia Tech tied with their rival Virginia 0-0. And the reason that is, Michael, is the Hokies just created a ton. They could not put the ball in the back end of the net.
Well, Virginia Tech's up for this one right off the kickoff. It goes to Strickler, and that's the guy you want. He just skews it wide. Ball to Lavowitz, and he gets it. Strickler leans over and gets over the bar, and Herrera with the free kick almost scores. Again, ball out wide, just missed, and Virginia Tech needs to reward itself for all these chances.
Yeah, they've done a great job creating, and it kind of was a harbinger of things to come. That first miss by Strickler 10 seconds in. You take a look at the stats. They are dominating right now in this game. Michael, you look forward. Let's ask you, what does Virginia need to do to turn the tide of this game in the second 45?
Well, Virginia is getting absolutely dominated in that midfield. I'm looking more from Halsey and Gibert. They have been non-existent so far in this game, and for them to get going means that this team will get going, but more of a midfield presence for me.
And on the other side, from Virginia Tech, what are you looking for them to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net, or what do they need to do to maintain the dominance they've had?
It's almost like they're so anxious and excited to score this goal, because I think with this team, once one goes in, it's going to be the floodgates opening. They've been that dominant. A little bit more focus in that final third, and they will break this deadlock.
As we mentioned, a couple great games this weekend. 2 top 5 matchups, Carolina and Wake on Sunday, as well as Pitt, Virginia. Duke and Clemson will be on ACC Network, 8 Eastern. On Friday, I'll be on the call alongside Charlie Davies. That is a big game for Clemson to see if they can bounce back from the loss they had against Wake, or the win, so they continue after having that win over Wake Forest. And Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, a game 11 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. Notre Dame, a team that's had some ups and downs, and Tech, for the way they've looked here, will be looking to get more points in this North region. And we're almost set to go here in the second half. Again, alongside Michael LaHood, former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, professional player. For the Deacs, he did one national title, part of that 2007 crew. Played in a lot of these rivalry games. When you're in a half like that, Michael, in a rival, when you've really controlled your rival, but you're not up, what's that conversation like within the Hokies group?
The worst thing you can see is people smiling, thinking, we have this, the game is over. And for this Virginia Tech team, you see some guy smiling, having a laugh. Well, George Gelnevach is known for getting his UVA Cavaliers riled up. He's probably had to go at them and said that was not good enough. So Tech, be very careful. Pick up where you left off and score a goal. Reward yourself.
That's a great point. Mike Brizendine and his fellas have not beaten Virginia since 2005 again, folks. That's the last time they won. Coach Brizendine was not the head coach in that group. He was an assistant at that time here at Virginia Tech. And Sievert Haugley, one of the captains on the squad, center backs, trying to get his guys going. He wants to find a way to beat this team too. He doesn't want to leave Blacksburg without beating that.
Well, as a senior, you want to leave a legacy. And against the Cavaliers, to be that class against under Coach Briz that wins that first win for him against the Cavaliers is everything. Leave a legacy, get the W tonight, reward yourself.
UVA's been a little late getting out, so George Gelnevach had a little bit longer team talk than normal. See if they come out ready to go. It's a nice night in Blacksburg. And again, folks, so you know how this season is set up. There's a North region and a South region. This is a North region game. There are 6 teams in the North region. Each team plays each other once, with the exception of Virginia and Virginia Tech. These rivals will play a home and home. And Pitt sits atop the conference right now. You see Tech there at 0-1 after they lost their opener to Pitt. On the other side, the South region, each team plays each other once, and they have 2 partners they'll play at home and home. Carolina sits up top right now. They beat Duke, they beat Clemson. And as we mentioned already, they play Wake Forest, who just coming off a loss to Clemson this past weekend. They will play on Sunday, Carolina and Duke 1 versus 3. NC State currently in the basement. The top 4 from each region will get into the quarterfinals, and they will play for a spot, play for an ACC title. That ACC title, if you start the second half, matters when we come to spring, because they will have a chance to play for the ACC championship in the automatic qualifier, assuming there is a tournament. They will be granted that spot in the tournament.
Easy. Not behind the line, Spencer.
Got some changes here for UVA. Isaiah Bird on the ball. Didn't make an appearance in the first half, but he's now in the match. Andreas Uihlein, sophomore, one of the captains, looking long. Great ball, played out on a dime. Spencer Patton gets pushed down. That'll be a foul.
You know, this personnel change here, Virginia is probably going back to what has worked for them. Uihlein coming back in that central defender spot. He wasn't as sharp as you'd like to see your captain and your big man in the first half, so hopefully he can pick things up and pick this team up, being back in the middle, in the heart of this defense.
Just sit in there, Brett.
Get over, Gerbig. Get over, Gerbig.
Bird dancing around, 3 in white. Redshirt freshman from Gainesville, Virginia. Was just on the ball before. Playing that right wing back spot. Axel Gunnarsson tried to combine with Spencer Patton. Turnover, though.
He's going to drive it.
Go now, go now, ball. Level.
Turn, Spencer.
Right there. Just sit in.
Uihlein on the ball here. Looks like Virginia's switched to a back 4. The back 5 was not working. Tech was having way too much space. And with Uihlein moving centrally and outside backs pushing up more like wing backs, we'll see how Virginia Tech copes with this change from Virginia.
So that's where Isaiah Bird made that change. He's now playing a right back spot. Out on the left, looks like Oliver Gerbig, Coastal Carolina. Excuse me, Spencer Patton on the ball. He looks like the left back now. Juwan Gibert, a little bit of space, finds Irakoza Donaciano. Donaciano looking for Kevin Ogadugu, but he turns it over. Donaciano. Happy Kamseo, heavy first touch.
With the up.
Been a physical game. Expect that in a rivalry match. Chippy, you like that, Michael?
You love to see that. You see here, rugby tackles are going. We have pushes. It's a melee. It's fight night here in Blacksburg.
Fight night, but that's the only yellow card given to Jacob Labovitz there. The Uihlein rugby tackle that you referenced was somehow not a yellow by Sergio Gonzalez, so Uihlein is fortunate to be not in the book right now.
Oh man, any other day that is for sure yellow, but let the boys play, ref, and the ref is definitely doing that.
Yeah. Donaciano, good handle. Juwan Gibert finds Patton on the wing. And Patton drifted offside, apparently.
Down that interchange, you see there, Donaciano coming in the midfield and coming inside. That is something to keep an eye on. He's very crafty, good on the dribble, explosive when he has to be, and that interchange between him and Gibert in that midfield could cause problems for Virginia Tech.
And that is more of his natural position. That's where he's played in years past. They have him out wide, but it's a great observation by you, Michael. He now moves more central and see how he can dictate this game a bit. Matt Zambetti, sophomore keeper, in place of Matthias Swaneveld, the senior keeper that's been a stalwart in the net for Virginia Tech. Ogadugu might have a chance, but no, Zambetti's off his line. Kyle McDowell, the junior, getting forward. His left back spot. Ayola Okunu, number 8, on the ball again.
Not too tight, Spence. Not too tight. Take that space to your right. Good.
For Virginia Tech, we've seen from the first half, everything goes through the middle with Pereira, and Virginia has gone almost wherever Pereira goes, wherever the defensive midfielder goes, there's always someone on him, and Halsey's there to plug up the gaps and find the space, but that is something that can be very disruptive for Virginia Tech in the second half.
So it sounds like you like these adjustments that George Galnavach made here in terms of their formation and how they're playing right now.
I do. You put players like Ulan in a more natural place. Last year, Virginia played with a back 4, and so he's used to that setup. And I almost wonder, with all the missing pieces from that 2019 team, if Coach Galnavach went to that back 3 or back 5, as we've seen in this game, to see what these younger players are about. But go with what's worked in the past and let your team dictate what formation by the guys around the field. Play to their strengths. And I think he's doing that with this setup.
Poor turnover by Patton there, and whoa, man. As Gunnarsson just drags down Pereira. And you can hear George Galnavach, Spencer, what are you doing? It's a very fair question because that pass was terrible.
Playing out of the back, if you're going to be a team that's trying to be patient, you see here just clear foul. Pereira wins the ball, and Gunnarsson, I'm not sure if that's a rugby tackle or deemed a rugby tackle, but it's definitely a hard tackle.
I mean, you're the one handing out rugby tackles, so if it's by you, Michael. If you say it's a rugby tackle, it is. The question is it a yellow card?
Oh, man, I think it should be a yellow card. It doesn't make any attempt to play the ball, and rugby tackle or no rugby tackle, clear yellow card.
That is a professional foul, but it doesn't look like it's going to be given a yellow. Sergio Gonzalez says, hold on, let's wait for my whistle. Let's play too quick.
Andreas, get organized!
So that's the second one. Gunnarsson and Ulan easily could be in Sergio Gonzalez's book, but they are not. Sounds like UVA about to make a substitution when they get a chance.
Did a good job. Did a good job, Isaiah.
Play down by Pereira. Oh, falls between 3 maroon jerseys. And Strickler keeps it in. Heavy touch by Horton. Ping-pongs off a couple defenders and goes out.
Dead ball situation. Ball gets floated in. Virginia have to be careful. No one was following the runner on that back stick, and if he kept his feet without that collision, it could have been very dangerous for the Cavaliers.
What's up here? Leo Alfonso, the freshman, re-entering the game for Cabral Happy Comseo. Alfonso had a really good debut. Drew had an assist. He helped create the penalty in the extra time.
Alfonso is a guy that Coach Galnavach is really high on. He's really excited. He was out with an injury before, and you saw he's got, in that last game, he has that little craftiness about him. He's got that goal scorer's mentality, as Coach Galnavach said. And so with him coming into this game, he's going to pose a threat for this Virginia Tech back line.
He said he has a little something special. Still trying to figure it out, but a talented player. Played part of the Philadelphia Union Academy, also the Inter Miami Academy. Lived down in Boynton Beach, Florida. He's trying to run onto this one now. Howgley. McDowell. Strickler battling with Ulan. Back to McDowell. Ulan now the center back, just a lot of contact, and no, that seemed unnecessary.
Ulan needs to be careful with some of these fouls. That was totally unnecessary. He has the sideline as his friend. You see here, defenders has the sideline, has nowhere to go. In those positions, in those situations, you just want to be patient, keep your feet, and you definitely don't want to do that. Easy free kick for Tech coming up.
Yulin, a sophomore, but again, very experienced. He played every minute last year. Was third-team All-ACC, all-freshman team. Has played for Norwegian youth team, under 17, under 18, under 20. Big stadiums, big games. Just had a couple. That was just a little bit of a brain freeze, if you will, for such a talented young man, experienced young man. Played short. Pereira's going to give it a go to the back post. Haugley couldn't redirect it. Had a lot on that ball, though.
Pereira here gets the ball, hits a cannon of a cross, and there's in those situations it's so hard to redirect it. It almost comes at you in a flash, and I think that's the best the defender could have done there.
And Coach Brizendine pacing the sidelines. How much better do you think Virginia Tech looks in their second match here than they did in their first game against Pitt?
It's night and day. They look sharper, they look hungrier, they look like the team that wants to win this game, that believes they can win this game, and they need to continue to smell blood in the water and get that goal, because goals change games, and a goal will drastically change this game.
If you're just joining us, Tech has had the lion's share of the opportunities in the first half. Virginia made some tactical changes, a formation change, and how they've matched up. And is it fair to say UVA's been better in these first 10 minutes?
I think they have. They're inching their way into this game. They're keeping possession a bit more, as we see here on the sideline. And I think with a guy like this, Afonso, him coming in, happy going out, a little bit more soccer-savvy movements will get them back in this game. And Virginia is always unpredictable. When you think you have them on the ropes, they surprise you with a goal.
Kevin Ugadugu working on the sideline there. The transfer from Portland. Came to the States via Norway, as Gunnarsson is on the ball. The Swedish youth international, Axel Gunnarsson. Make sure to let you know, every Saturday morning, 10 a.m., The Huddle, hosted by our guy, Jordan Cornett, joined by Eric McLean, Coach Mark Richt, E.J. Manuel, to give you everything you need to know, set you the slate for you college football that day. There's a triple header in the ACC on ACC Network on Saturday, so 10 a.m. Eastern. Check it out on ACCN and the ESPN app. Donaciano tries to spin. Gonzalez says, no, we got the ball.
It's good movement there by Donaciano. He's starting his movements from the right-hand side, and he's starting to find Gibert, and that interchange that we talked about before. If he can get a little bit more than just dribbling into pressure, and if he can break that line of pressure and come out of there, he's driving straight at the heart of that Virginia Tech defense and could cause a lot of problems.
McDowell, Labovitz not on the same wavelength. Pass drags Yulin wide. He's able to get it to Bird. Donaciano. Patton charging forward. Another poor ball played, but he might be bailed out, and he is.
You hate to see that. You hate to see that as a coach when you're doing all the right stuff. Ooh, ball in here. But when you're doing all the right stuff in the build-up, and then a lapse of focus, a lapse in technique breaks the whole play down, you have to start all over again. Virginia is starting to build in this game by being more patient, more methodical, and it's almost frustrating Virginia Tech at times.
Mayola Kanua, number 8 on your screen there, was down in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, he can step off, but we got to get a restart.
He was sitting there, but it seems like
George, I hear you.
he's getting a little treatment on the sidelines.
Get him off the field, please.
Yeah, Manua here jumps in, and it might be an Achilles thing. You never know. You never want to see, or speculate, but you never want to see your player pop in like that and jump up. So hopefully he's all right.
Just getting a little power gel and some water. Maybe he just, like I said, not going to speculate, but he's not down on his back. He's standing up, taking some fluids, taking some power gel. We'll see if he re-enters the fray shortly. They did not substitute for him. You can if it's an injury and a foul, and there's no penalty. In college soccer, those just tuning in, if you sub in the second half, you can re-enter the match once in that second half, but you obviously don't want to burn that sub and re-entry here in this situation. Kanua's back on the field. Looking forward to Afonso. Still Afonso. Tried to play it back to Ouedraogo. And eventually marshaled out by one of the captains, Sivert Haugli.
Good matchup there between Afonso and Haugli. Haugli's a beast and shows his presence and his defensive prowess. See, they're going the ball 50-50, and Afonso just not up to this matchup standards here and goes out for a throw-in.
Again, a young guy against a little more seasoned guy in Haugli. Gibert picks it off. This could be an opportunity. Looking to slip through Gunnarsson. Gunnarsson, great turn. Still Gunnarsson. And they're complaining for handball here. Sergio Gonzalez. I think they may award it, and he is. He is awarding it.
Wow.
He is awarding a handball penalty as Gunnarsson made something out of nothing.
Gunnarsson here pops it over to the defender, and that's a handball. Tries to get his hand out of the way, and he's shuffling, pops it again. Cheeky play by Gunnarsson, the big man, showing good feet, wrong foots the defender, and just gets a nick on it. Can't get there, but doesn't matter. Penalty for Virginia.
Jacob Blumler, the man called for the handball in the box. Now steps up Iracosa Donaciano, the junior, third-team All-ACC last year. Shot save by Zambetti!
Zambetti coming up with the goods on that penalty kick. Poor penalty by Donaciano. Should have done better, but don't take anything away. Zambetti guesses to the left-hand side, saves it, and big momentum shift opportunity for Virginia Tech. Zambetti coming up big. You see what it means to him. You see what it means to this back line to keep that 0. They deserve to be in this game, and 0-0, still so much to play for.
It's one of your juniors, one of your veteran guys that's logged a ton of games. Donaciano has played, this is his 52nd collegiate game. You want the guy like that step into the spot. But Zambetti stands tall. It's only his second game ever playing in a Hokies uniform. We mentioned he's deputizing for Matthias Swaneveld, the senior that's been an institution between the pipes for Mike Brizendine. But man, does the sophomore Zambetti step up.
Well, those type of penalty kick saves, they are what defines and starts careers.
And we did have a sub during all that pandemonium. Andrew Weber, number 12 for Virginia Tech, checked in for number 21, Cameron Lennon. They made that change in the first half, around the same time as well.
Go, Nick! Go, Nick! Go, steal!
Here at Blacksburg, Thompson Field, Virginia Tech, the Commonwealth Clash, alongside Michael LaHood, former Wake Forest Demon Deacon, national champion there and professional player. I'm Dallin Cuff. It's been an interesting game, Michael. I mean, the first half, Virginia Tech dominated. Virginia's made some tactical changes, just had a penalty stop. What do you make of the first 60-plus minutes here?
This start to the second half, Virginia has been the aggressor. They look like a completely different team. It looked like they finally got off the bus coming from Charlottesville. And this formation shift, going from a back 4 into that narrow midfield 3, is really disrupting this Virginia Tech team.
Runners! Isaiah!
UVA went with a little 3-5-2 to start things out, now to a 4-back system. And after the break, George Gelnovac changing things. The midfield was a problem for the Hokies. Ball played in, skips all the way through. McDowell on it. He was looking for a low ball in, goes out for a corner.
Now, what I like about that from Virginia is great to see one of your attackers sprinting back to make that block to keep the cross from coming in.
Third corner of the match, and that was Kevin Ouedraogo coming in to help defensively. Daniel Pereira, Neola Kanua over the ball, and Pereira's going to take it, float it, flipped on by Strickler. Still in a danger zone, popped up again, opportunity, and just wide again from Nathan Durst, the other center back.
Wow, this game is really starting to pick up. On the replay, pinballs, guys flying, bodies flying, and the center back just hits it wide. A little bit more power, and it would have troubled the goalkeeper.
Is there anything in this? Colin Shuttler for Virginia is arguably the best goalkeeper in the country. He's got for active players, he's #1 in terms of goals against average. He's top 5 in shutouts. He's top in everything. Are guys trying to place it too perfectly? When you play a keeper that's that good, are you trying to do too much versus just put it on frame?
It looks like it. I think it does weigh on you when you're playing against one of the top, if not the top goalkeeper in the country, and you almost try too hard to score. And you saw it in the first half with some of the missed chances. Strickler had golden opportunities, missed sitter. Sometimes it's just better to just get it on target and make the keeper have to make a play.
Pereira plays it up to Strickler. Might have another opportunity here for the Hokies. Pinged out wide. Oh, good feet. Lefty curl right into the arms of Shuttler. It's only the second save he's had to make all day, and they've taken their 11 shots.
Well, 11 shots are good, but if all those are at Shuttler like that, this could be a long night for the Hokies.
Hauglie forced to play it back to Zambetti.
Walk over, coach. Walk over. Go on, Leo. Go on, Leo. Go on, Leo. Yes. Make something fast. Walk in the box.
Chibert plays it off to Gunnarsson. He looks to float it in just over the head of Afonso. Here comes in Isaiah Bird. Halsey on it.
Down, this looks more like the Virginia that George Galnavac would have hoped to see in the first half. They're being patient. They're knocking the ball around. They're strutting their stuff a bit. They're finding their midfielders. And I think this guy, Donaciano, has been a big impact on that. And the roles have almost switched in the two teams and how they are entering this half. It's Virginia being the more methodical and intricate passing team, and Virginia Tech is the one laying or hitting long balls over the top and struggling to get out of their own half.
You mentioned Donaciano being key in that, but is the tactical setup, the formational setup, is what's allowing them to be in these positions to succeed more, you think?
I think so. I think it's guys like Donaciano playing in more natural.
Oh, some contact there. Uhlin and Labovitz. And Uhlin stays down. Labovitz is on a yellow, but there was nothing malicious in that, but Uhlin is down right now. A sophomore for Norway. And Leo Afonso is going to get a yellow. Not sure if he said something there. That was in the last time when there was some back and forth in the other box. But the freshman goes in the book.
And to the point that we were talking about with the formation changes and the resurgence of this Virginia team in the second half, some of it goes down to formation, but I think a lot of it goes down to players feeling more comfortable in the setup and having their abilities come out more because they're being put in better positions to succeed and play to their strengths.
Get into our rhythm. Get into our rhythm.
Khalil Dover coming on for Labovitz. Dover, again, the sophomore from Reston, Virginia. Had an assist in that season opening 4-2 loss to Pitt. Nice job to get out of some trouble. Good chest control. Pinged forward. This is better from UVA. Gunnarsson looking to turn. Forced back into the middle. Swings it out to Bird.
Like a midfielder.
Halsey shaking. Donaciano trying to line up a shot. Finds Gunnarsson. Oh, well read by Durst to break that up. And that's a lot of contact between Patton and Christo Strickler. That will be a foul.
The ref is letting a lot go in this game.
That seemed like a professional foul, right? I mean, that you're stopping a break. Should that not be a yellow?
Well, tonight I feel like I'm yellow card happy, just dishing out yellow cards. You get a yellow card, you get a yellow card. So why not? That's a yellow card.
Gibert almost too long on the ball, able to get it out. Gunnarsson dancing around again. Out to Halsey. Halsey working on Durst. Almost megged him.
Since the second half has started, I really like what I'm seeing from Gunnarsson. The big man is not just showing a big body, but he's showing good feet. He bodies his opponent on the ground and squeezes out in tight spaces. He got that penalty kick, juggling that ball, and so keep on going, big man.
Gunnarsson's sophomore, but again, very experienced. Started in 23 of the 24 matches last year for a UVA team that went to the national final and lost that game. Gunnarsson scored big goals for them, one being against Clemson in the ACC final. He also scored in the NCAA tournament against SMU. But here's Khalil Dover trying to cut it back. He's got a little space.
Well done, Isaiah.
Great read by Isaiah Bird to pick off that pass. Was heading for Andrew Weber.
Well done, guys.
Dover does well to get to the byline there, and it's the final product on the execution for the pass is just lacking. I think he should have just waited a little bit more before making that pass to commit the defender.
Ogadugu working. Gets a low ball in, an opportunity over Alfonso, but he couldn't get anything on it.
Well done, Andre.
Newland goes to ground, picks it up.
Keep going, boys. Keep on
Virginia's throwing numbers up. Gunnarsson finding pockets of space.
Ogadugu gets a shot deflected by Haugley. And a foul Weber picks up. Let's talk about women's soccer here on the ACC Network. Another great doubleheader coming your way tomorrow. Number 2, Florida State taking on Pitt. Pitt team that features Amanda West leads the country in goals scored. That's 6 Eastern. Then number 11, Virginia, hosting number 13, Louisville at Klockner Stadium in Charlottesville. Both games right here on ACCN and the ESPN app.
Down as this ball goes out. Gunnarsson's really finding pockets of space, using his body to create that space. But he's also, by holding the ball up, allowing the Virginia team to transition up the field and get more numbers in and around him to be that much more dangerous than they were in the first half.
He's been very influential in this match. Still working back to full fitness. He only played 37 minutes in that game against Louisville, their season opener, but he's logged every minute in this one so far. Donaciano back out wide, tried to curl it around to Alfonso. Didn't come off.
And that game against Louisville, he was dangerous off of a couple balls springing in their attackers through. And then Nathaniel Crofts, who's in here tonight, was dangerous because of him.
Christo Strickler gets on this. Daniel Pereira was able to charge forward with the ball. Great pace with the ball. Strickler with the cross. To Little. Little looking to get a shot off. Good block. And Juan Gibert might be able to convert the other way. Got a 3-on-4. Ogadugu joining to make it 4-on-4. Still Gibert. Laying off him. He'll give it a ride. Out of play, though, for a goal kick.
This game is really starting to open up. Talk about transition. The replay here, Zubair takes it the full length of the field almost, doesn't have any options, and decides, why not? I'm just going to take a crack at it. Doesn't get the shot that he wants, but look, Virginia, you want to see that from your playmaker, leading the charge.
This game stays stretched and is open like that. Does it benefit one team or the other?
I think it benefits Virginia. In that midfield engine room, Virginia Tech is not, Pereira's the guy that he can drive the team forward, but defensively, that's not his strong suit. So with that extra number, they have Donaciano in there. It's a 3v2 against that midfield too. Coach Briz needs to address that for this game to change momentum.
A couple subs, Phil Porton just checked in for Leo Alfonso, number 9 White. You see him pressuring the ball. Also, Chris Little checked in for Nick Blacklock for Virginia Tech. Pereira finds Weber in a little pocket of space.
Something of note here is Virginia Tech has the ball. Looks like Virginia has moved to a 4-4-1-1. Donaciano coming in is the free second striker, and Gunnarsson sliding out to the left is a left winger.
Gunnarsson just fouled right there on the left touchline.
Yeah, the big man gets the ball, shifts it to his outside on the left, and gets taken down. Looks like that's the only way to take him out right now.
Hey, George, George, I'm just waiting to see there if he can break. Step a little, step a little.
Ogadugu able to turn. Get it up to Horton. Nice combination play. Back to Bird. Oh, nice touch by Halsey. Might be unlocking an opportunity here, but Donaciano pass didn't come together, but he's still pressuring the ball. And he just took down McDowell.
Halsey with a little toka-toka there. I like that.
Smooth.
Virginia Tech need to be careful. They are locked in their own half. They're resorting to long balls over the top to try and break this Cavalier pressure, and it's just not working.
Poor ball picked up by Pereira. He's got an opportunity, and he might get it to Dover. Dover 1v1 with Shuttler. Dover, Shuttler, goal! Dover! Hokies up 1-0!
Great goal from the Hokies here. Call it commentator's curse. But as soon as I say that, Virginia Tech on the counter. Sloppy giveaway from Virginia, and they get punished by the Hokies against the run of play. Ball in, and they get slipped to Dover, who's looked dangerous at times since coming in, and his speed is undeniable. Great finish. Rounds the goalkeeper there with the left, rounds, hits the ball through his right foot around the goalkeeper, and man, this game has a little bit of everything, but the Hokies are the ones who go up 1-0 against the run of play in the 76th minute.
Couldn't finish their chances early, but in the second half, made something out of nothing there. Brett Halsey, poor pass, bad turnover, and then Daniel Pereira, slide rule ball right into the path of Dover, who slips it by Colin Shuttler, but it's not easy to do on a 1v1 situation. And we have a opening goal. Hokies up 1-0, looking for the first win over UVA, their rival, since 2005.
Talked about rewarding yourself if you're Virginia Tech from the first half and even going into this half. And way to do it against the run of play. Dover coming in, he has the one element of this attacking group that the others I don't think have as much of. He's got speed. And you see his speed, his breakaway acceleration serves his team so well. And I don't think UVA has an answer for that because their back line, especially their two center backs, aren't as fast as he is.
There's your goal scorer, Khalil Dover. That is his first career goal for the Hokies, and what a time to have it. His 30th game as a Hokie. That is big time. But now there's an opportunity here. Juan Gibert with a free kick just outside the 18. We've got Yulin, Horton, some bigger bodies stepping forward. Driven, skipped off, and it's in the back of the net! Can you believe it?
Just
Juan
like
Gibert
that.
may be credited with this goal. We'll find out, but it's tied up.
Just like that, Virginia storms back and gets the assist. Gibert with the free kick. It doesn't matter how it goes in. See here, Gibert gives it the stare down, whips it in, hits off a Virginia Tech head and floats in over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. 1-1. This game is getting out of hand now. Wow.
Well, the Spaniard, the graduate student from Barcelona, Spain. He spent time at Valencia Academy, probably the most well-known academy he was growing up in, amongst 3 others in Spain. Ends up at UVA and helps equalize for this game. And now it's all to play for yet again.
Yeah, the golden rule of soccer, one of the golden rules, you're most vulnerable to give up a goal right in the first 5 minutes after you've scored a goal. And it is true in this sense with Virginia leveling things up a few minutes after the Virginia Tech opener.
I'm being told as of now they are crediting Gilbert with the goal, not an own goal. Again, if it's deflected but the shot would be on goal, technically that's supposed to be the rule. That was a weird angle to take a shot from, no, Michael? If that was, it seemed like that was his intention, but that's a tough angle.
Hey, Gibert knows something that we don't. He took his chances and it paid off for this team. And when you're the team that has momentum, and Virginia Tech got the goal, but when you're the team that's dictated the play, you see that's dictated the play here in the second half, why not have a go?
Long throw caused a little bit of problems for the Cavaliers. They'll go off into the corner.
Come on, Phil! Spencer! Spencer's on 3.
Nobody else.
Come on, Phil!
In swing, a lot of contact. Shuttler off to punch.
Ball's on, no center.
Blacklock tracks it down. Floated back into the spot. Haugley out there. Shuttler off his line to claim it. And a quick distribution. Could go end to end here, but now Zambetti's off his line. And down goes a Virginia Tech defender.
Shuttler showing off the cannon of a kick on that play there, and it almost comes off, but Zambetti, cool as you like, touched to his defender and keeps the Cavaliers, or the Hokies, moving on forward.
Poor turnover by Patton, and now Pereira on tons of space in the midfield. Got options in front. There's a Virginia Tech player again down to the top right part of the screen. Looks like Blumler. He went down in some difficulty about a minute ago. He's down again now. The right back. The junior from Frankfurt, Germany. Grew up in that academy. Frankfurt, a Bundesliga club, top division in Germany. He's played, this is his 57th game in a Tech jersey. So you're losing a guy with a ton of experience. Andrew Weber comes in. This is his 7th appearance in a Tech jersey. So we'll see if that becomes a factor late in this match against your rival in a tough game.
I don't want to see him go out like that, and it's always concern, not just for his own health, but it's always concern more than anything for the team when you lose someone that has to go out in the back line. It's disruptive to that continuity that the back line likes to keep intact.
And this is a back line playing again without their keeper that's usually there. Matthias Swaneveld is out. There's an institution back there, but Matt Zambetti has deputized very well. Saved a penalty earlier in this match. He's organized his group well.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with Zambetti. That penalty kick save. What a way to take your team and grab them by the scruff of the neck and say, hey, we're in this game. We're going to see this one through.
Pereira looking to skip past some defenders. Charges into the box. May have an opportunity. Low ball played in off of Uland. Out for a throw. Last time at this spot, they took a long throw that forced a corner.
Yeah, Pereira here slaloming past defenders like they're not even there. And you see him now starting to get back in this game. He got the assist off that first goal. And can we see him get more of the ball and dictate the game once again?
Long throw again. Gibert, the goal scorer for UVA, was able to clear it out of the box. McDowell able to turn on Bird. And blocked well by Ogadugu.
Come on, Spencer. Come on, Spencer. Isaiah. Phil. Come on, Cozy.
Kanua comes over to consult with Pereira. 5th corner of the match for Tech.
On your toes, Oliver. Come on, Phil. Get a body on him, Phil. Close, close. No service. Close.
And they're going to have an opportunity. There's a lot of maroon jerseys there. Kanua's going to take a drive, but pulls it just wide.
Ball pin balls in that box, and Kanua says, why not? And hits it just wide. You know, Dallin, hearing Coach Gelnevat screaming, Halsey, Halsey, block the shot, and all these things. It brings back a lot of memories playing against this Virginia Cavaliers team when I was in school.
He's a vocal coach. He's a successful coach. 25th year there at UVA. He's been part of, as the head coach, he's been there for over 30 years, player, assistant, and the head coach, part of all 7 national titles. He's done it all in college soccer, to say the least. Okay.
Tech 15 and for 14. Come on, Axel.
Tech starting to dictate some of the play here, but it's little plays like that, that lack of focus on passes to a guy maybe 5 to 10 yards that they need to improve on to maybe get this goal to win this match.
Pereira stepping into some space, trying to get off a shot. He may have an opportunity. Lays it off. Labovitz, shot blocked. Back out to Blacklock, cuts it back. Low ball played in, eventually cleared out by UVA. Tech definitely put the pressure on the last few minutes.
Oh, man. Tech is throwing stuff at this UVA goal. Some sleek movement from Pereira, and even Blacklock showing good feet, making people miss. But get the shot off early. If you're Pereira, get the shot off early. You're right in the middle of the goal. That's the best opportunity to score goals, when you're right in the center. Shoot it early, man.
Low ball played in.
Close up.
Turnover by UVA there. Careless turnover, and almost results in a dangerous play. Lavovitz there doing his defensive responsibilities, but the execution on the cross wasn't there.
Under 6 minutes to go here from Thompson Field in Blacksburg, Virginia. I'm Dallin Cuff alongside Michael LaHood. 1-1 in the Commonwealth Clash here.
Hey, Dover, great job.
Hey, can I get a ball? All right, got you.
Sunday Best this week features a field hockey match between Duke and North Carolina at noon Eastern, followed by a women's soccer match between Miami and Pitt at 1:30 Eastern. Then it's a women's volleyball doubleheader. Number 10 Pitt squares off against number 5 Notre Dame. And Virginia takes on Virginia Tech in Blacksburg to round out our Sunday best. All right here on ACCN and the ESPN app. Both goals this match in the second half. Khalil Dover scored first for Tech to put them on top. But just minutes later, they equalized through a Juan Gibert free kick deflection in the back of the net for the Cavs to make it 1-1. And that's where we are with 5 minutes to go.
Kevin, just keep checking on. Kevin, just keep checking on.
You see Strickler comes in. He's been rested a bit this second half. And a rested Strickler could mean danger for the Cavaliers.
Strickler, two-time all-league player. The ACC, number 15, is running on the ball now. Scored 26 goals in his career here for Tech, one of the co-captains. Gibert, the goal scorer on it.
Stretch him, Phil.
Stepping forward, lays it off, and then tried to dink it over the top to Philip Horton, but they were not on the same page.
Careless turnover there from Pereira. Needs to be careful. When you're in the heart of that midfield, the engine room, you cannot give the ball away cheaply.
Tenaciano may have a chance. Low-driven ball just wide.
Virginia knocking on the door again. Tenaciano, the guy. He's been the guy this second half. Getting in a tight spot. Ball comes in, entry pass, finds the pocket, takes a couple touches, and hits a low drive, just misses the post on the far side.
Go, Nick, go, Nick, go!
Blacklock out wide to Strickler. He's got some options in the box. Oh, Labovitz got up on, just couldn't get it down though.
Labovitz needs to do better there. Strickler with a good cross from out wide, peels out to that right channel, finds space, has time, picks up his head, and lobs a ball in there for Labovitz and needs to do better on that finish. That could have been the game winner with time running low on the clock.
I mean, we've seen late game theatrics across the conference already. I mean, North Carolina won on literally the last second against Clemson earlier in the week. Virginia ceded a goal to Louisville with less than a minute left to tie it up to force overtime in their season opening match, which they would go on to win it from the penalty spot through Philip Horton, who's closing down the ball in double overtime.
And the ACC, late goals are a thing. And in rivalry games like this, that lapse in concentration, that falling asleep, that foot off the gas pedal could cost your team the game.
Tenaciano tried to turn but could not. Looking forward, Labovitz is going to get onto this. He's got Strickler in the box. First time ball played, and Strickler tries to control it off his chest. Turn, whiff. Still a chance. Blacklock. Pinged in. Weber is there, but as is Ulen, and some contact, and Strickler puts his head in his hands. He cannot believe it. This is not good, and that is Gerber, actually. Excuse me for that. We've got some blood. Gerber took a head-to-head shot.
Ball gets floated in from out wide. Gerber, don't want to see that from him. Hope he's okay. Falls backwards, but hope he's okay. The medical team taking a look at him.
And anybody not familiar with college soccer, this is not like the pro game. The clock does stop while the junior gets attention. And because it was a foul, he can stay in the match if they can get this plugged up in a period of time. The junior from Taipei, Taiwan, part of the Hong Kong U20 and U23 teams. but he was a transfer from Coastal Carolina, played 2 years there. Was part of a crew last year that beat NC State in the NCAA tournament to end the Wolfpack season. Now he transfers into UVA, played every minute of the first match, and George Galnavac just notified about the blood, so we'll see if how they handle this or have to handle this. He's one of their starting center backs in a 1-1 game with 1:15 to go.
Is he going to be ready to go?
And it happened fast. Khalil Dover against the run of play. Bad pass. Great feed by Daniel Pereira to Dover. He went one-on-one, beat Colin Shuttler, but then less than a minute later, Juan Gibert scores the other way off a deflected free kick. Both first goal of the campaign for both those young men and first goal ever in their respective jerseys. And they're trying to figure out now the situation with Gibert.
Comes off, you gotta let him right back in.
Yeah, I mean, as long as,
Pretty important.
yeah, I mean, as long as the trainer clears them, no problem.
Take a look at the upcoming campaign for UVA. Again, they play 5 remaining games in the conference here. These are 4 of them. They play Pitt. That's a top 5 showdown as of now on Sunday. And then they go on the road at Notre Dame, a team that's 1-1 in league play. And then to Syracuse. And they finish with their rival Virginia Tech before starting the quarterfinals, which will be the top 4 teams from the North region. These are all North region games. And it's the top 4 teams from the South region. Those teams will qualify to go on to the quarterfinals. We take a look at Tech's. They play Notre Dame on Sunday. Cuse at home, and then they travel to Louisville and Virginia to round out their regular season campaign. As Gerber is up and jogging off the field now.
You got verbal? Come on! Last minute!
Ozzy.
Come on, get up. We'll get one more. We'll get one more. We'll get one more. Hey, just be aware.
Ozzy, it's simple, man. Last minute here. No risk, all right?
As you hear from the sidelines, you have one group that's screaming, come on, we got this game, we can get this goal. You have another group that's saying, hey, let's see this in the overtime. No mistakes. Be smart.
A lot of contact there. UVA bench is livid. That's a yellow, but that is his second yellow for Labovitz, and he is out.
That is a moment that could very well be the decisive factor in this game. Ball over the top here. Labovitz goes up, and the only thing I can think of is the ref may have called it for an elbow to the back or back of the head. See Gunnarsson there grabbing his head. Didn't see as much in that one, but the ref saw something, gives him the red card. Ball goes to the top. Yeah, I think he may have gotten him on second thought. Goes up. Gives him a little shoulder to the back.
I know we've been dealing out yellows, but doesn't that elbow have to be high to be a yellow there? I feel like the elbow was low into his back. Just, your arm has to go up in some regard. I mean, do you think this is a legit yellow there? Especially since he was on one?
The way the ref has called this game has been all over the place. It started out with letting players play, and of all the fouls, as we think of yellow cards for the rugby tackle, I know we're going rugby tackle heavy tonight, but for the rugby tackle in the first half, if he gives that one as yellow, then I don't know what is a yellow moving forward in this game. I don't agree with that call considering how he's called the game so far.
Well, Virginia Tech now down to 10 men. Mike Brizendine still letting the 4th official hear about that call. And Labovitz, the senior, exits. This will be the last chance he has to beat UVA at his home field here. And now he's got to rely on his teammates to pick him up after getting his second yellow and sent off.
If you're Tech, you just want to see this out. That is a game-changing play when you're down a man all of a sudden. And see it out, get to the end of regulation, regroup.
Oh, corner is called there. Strickler was the one hustling for the ball. He slid after. I thought he even touched it, but Sergio Gonzalez says we have a corner. Under 20 seconds. Center backs charged forward. Durst, 19, unmarked at the back post right now. Could it be another buzzer-beating goal? It was close, but it was just wide and maybe just late from Nathan Durst.
Oh, man. Almost held my breath there. Pereira gets the ball wide, whips it in, wide open, and almost looks like he closes his eyes. Tried to do too much by trying to whip his neck around. Just get it on target. Easier said than done that play, but get it on target.
Wow. Okay. 1-1. We're heading to the first overtime. We'll be back here at Blacksburg in just a minute. Welcome back to Thompson Field here in Blacksburg, Virginia. 1-1 is the scoreline between the Cavaliers and the Hokies as we head into overtime. And here's how we got there. It was a game in the first half. Virginia Tech dominated, getting so many opportunities, could not score. But then into the second half, things got a little crazy. Khalil Dover got his first goal in a Virginia Tech uniform. UVA, João Gilbert got his first goal. And then Labovitz red card in the 89th minute. And now we'll show you how it went down. This is the save by Zambetti, the PK save in the second half as Virginia started to turn the screws a little bit. And now look at that pass by Daniel Pereira, just perfectly weighted in the path of Khalil Dover. The sophomore puts it past Colin Shuttler, one of the best keepers in the business. Not much you can do about that one. But it was just over 60 seconds later. The celebrations would be over because it deflects off of João Gilbert's free kick, deflects off a head, pops up and over Zambetti. And we are tied at 1. And then Jacob Labovitz getting a second yellow goes out of the match. So now Virginia Tech's playing with 10 men. So here are your regular season NCAA rules. 2 10-minute periods, sudden victory, or golden goal, whatever you want to call it. First goal wins. If you sub, there's no re-entry in the first or second overtime periods. If you're out, that's your ball game. If still tied after second OT, the game ends in a tie in the regular season. And we said at the beginning of the show, these teams have met 51 times. UVA leads 41-4-5. The last win the Hokies have in this series is in 2005. Mike Brizendine was an assistant on that squad, looking now to get his first win in his 12th year over George Gelnevach and UVA. The problem is now they're playing with 10 men. So alongside Michael LaHood, I'm Dallin Cuff. And Michael, if you're Mike Brizendine, how do you set up your crew here? You got a 10-man situation. You're against your rival. It's 1-1. Points are at a premium. You only got 6 ACC games. What are you playing for? The win or the draw here?
You go for the draw. You get the goal against the run of play, and as the game winds down, something unpredictable happens. The red card, it's a chess match now. You don't give up anything early on. You see it through. You stay compact. 2 lines of 4, since they play a 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1 at times. Hope to see them in 2 lines of 4 and don't give up anything, and see if you can catch them on the counter, because Virginia's coming. Make no mistake about that.
And Virginia, conversely, when you're playing up a man, are you playing like you're smelling blood in the water? Are you pushing on your front foot here?
You better be pushing, because there's your chance to win this game, especially sudden death.
That's it. A sudden death overtime starts. 10-minute first period. If it's still tied up, we will go to a 10-minute second period. Sergio Gonzalez is the man in the middle who dished out that red card in the 89th minute. It was a second yellow to the senior forward Labovitz. And we'll see what unfolds here between these two rivals in the Commonwealth Clash. Kanua on the ball.
Yes! 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 You go, you go. Okay, go, going. Yes, going.
It's a bit of a surprise here, but I think Coach Briz is actually going to go for this. He has his team sitting at midfield, but instead of 4 midfielders just sitting back, whenever they get a chance on attack, the 2 wide midfielders are pushing up to support Strickler.
Oliver Gerbig almost turned it over the center back. To your point, may have allowed a potential counter attempt, but UVA dodged that bullet. Axel Gunnarsson, who drew that PK that Zambetti ended up saving, 18 in white, was on the ball before. Ulan looking for that big switch to Gunnarsson. It's the second game of the year for UVA, and they've played now both games in overtime in the last 5 days, before not playing any preseason exhibition games or non-conference games due to different COVID issues, cancellations, postponements. So this team is still trying to find a way to match fitness. It's a tough way to do it.
As you see, Virginia trying to get momentum again. And as this game ended in regulation, Gerbig has given away some careless passes. And you see there, he gives another one away. Coach Gelnevats is going to want to get on top of him to make sure he doesn't do that again.
It's Gerbig, 5 white with the head bandage. He got a little head-to-head contact, was bleeding about 3 or 4 minutes to go in the match. There's back in. Andreas Ulan, the center back, stepping forward.
Can't get out.
Mayola Kanua, nice spin. Looking for Strickler. He's got him in the channel. Waiting for some help. McDowell on it, looking to play a ball in. Gets it off, but there's just nobody home. And Irakosi Donaciano able to step up to it easily. And he'll just get it out of Dodge.
Down the point you made about the fitness of Virginia and the fitness of these 2 teams. Both these teams are coming into this game having only played 1 game. And so there almost isn't an advantage, because when you play the same amount of games, it's who wants it more. And when you have a young team, you're put through the ringer by games like this. You learn how to compete, if you're Virginia, in extra time, or overtime as you call it.
Pereira gliding forward, looking to get end line, clips it up. Shuttler gets a piece and it goes over the bar. You see the fans amassing outside the gates here at Thompson Field. I love this because in the stadium you can only have family friends. So people are supporting their squad as Pereira tried to get this one across.
Yeah, Pereira does well to get to the byline, and he almost catches Shuttler again like he did in the first half.
Pereira, outswinging ball. Header off of Donaciano. Some complaints for a handball, and Sergio Gonzalez says no, it hit him on his back. So it goes out for another corner as Chris Little rose there and got a head on it. Big opportunity again, golden goal, sudden victory. Next goal wins here. See number 3, Haugley, 19, Durst, the 2 big center backs. In swinger looking for Haugley. He able to get a head on it. So does Gerbig though. And Axel Gunnarsson going the other way. And a tackle there that's probably going to result in a yellow with a professional foul there by Andrew Weber.
Good decision by Weber there. Yeah, good decision by Weber there. Gunnarsson is a runaway train. It just brings him down. I think if he would have... Oh, Blacklock brings him down. If he didn't do that, then you never know what happens, but it's a smart foul.
And my apologies, black luck there. I led my partner down a blind alley.
Careful! Oliver!
Spencer Patton
Sit, Halsey, sit, Halsey.
skipping forward, plays it out to Ogadugu, who was just offside.
So far, it's been Virginia Tech with the man down, who's looked the more dangerous of the two teams.
Second ball, Cozy, Joe.
Again, the top 4 teams in the North Regional make it on to the ACC quarterfinals, a chance to play for an ACC title. Virginia Tech's already 0-1 in the league. They fell to Pitt. Virginia is 1-0 right now. So points are so critical in these 6 ACC matches they're going to play. And it looks like Gunnarsson is down in the middle of the pitch holding his shoulder. See if Hewlin plays it out. They will not. They're going to keep playing.
Actually, you got to be okay.
Gunnarsson shaking it out. He's up and trying to rejoin the fray. Wide to Ogadugu. Oh, splits the D. That looks like a lot of contact there. No call. Poor turnover. Halsey now can step into some space. Tried to play it low to Horton, but didn't come together.
Ogadugu showing some good feet there in the corner. Splits 2 guys and looked like he got taken down. Thought that was a foul as well.
I'll tell you, the Virginia bench did too.
Ogadugu there shifts it, chops it back, makes a miss. I think you give that as a foul.
Fill in, fill in.
It's kind of like an unwritten rule as Ogadugu checks out. So his day is over. If a defender puts his hands up like that, folks, in pretty much any sport, you're guilty. You know you fouled him. And you see now Kanuas signaling to Haugley. You see Haugley, number 3, the captain, jogging forward, one of the center backs, a chance to play a long ball into the box now. Couple of substitutions now. Kai Ignacio checks back in for UVA. Floated up looking for Haugley. It will maintain Hokies ball. Under 2 minutes to go in the first OT. Chance for Andrew Weber to have a long throw. Virginia's had a little bit of trouble with these.
Yeah, they have. Let's see how they defend this one.
Virginia Tech scored on one of these against Pitt. It was a great design play. A lot of it's actually hooked up Strickler. Nice touch and turn by Halsey. Gibert lets it run across his body, and now they're going the other way. Bird charging forward. And good recovery by Pereira. Durst cleaned it up.
Pereira showing some defensive prowess to his game by breaking up that play there. You love to see that from your main man on Virginia Tech.
Gunnarsson couldn't handle it, but it looks like he was offside anyway.
Stay tuned in, Kaya. Hey, stay tuned. Hey. Second ball, Cozy.
You ready? You ready?
20 seconds left, first OT. Tenaciano able to get it back to Gerbig.
Go service, go service. Go service.
And we're ticking down. Folks, we're heading to double OT here at Thompson Field. Michael, what are your thoughts? First 10 minutes there. I mean, Virginia Tech's playing down a man.
Virginia Tech, even though they're down a man, looks like the team more likely to get the goal and get this win in this overtime. They're the aggressors, and Virginia, surprisingly, with the man advantage, they've been a little bit more timid. You hear Coach Gelnovat saying, no service, no service. It looks like they might even be playing for a draw.
All right, final 10 minutes coming your way, folks. Will we have a winner? Come on back to ACC Network and we'll find out. All right, back here at Thompson Field, 1-1 between Virginia and Virginia Tech. Virginia has dominated this rivalry. They have not lost to the Hokies since 2005. And it's been an exciting one. Iracosa Donaciano's penalty saved by Matt Zambetti. And then the other, this is the second half. First half, Virginia Tech had a lot of opportunities, but they capitalized on this one, Michael. Khalil Dover finishes 1v1.
Dover makes a great run. Pereira makes the pass, finishes it. Good finish, striker's finish, puts up Tech 1-0.
But just a minute later, Joan Gibert, the grad student from Barcelona, gets a deflection off the free kick and goes into the back of the net. He is credited with the goal, and then this was huge late. That's Jacob Labovitz, a senior attacker. He picked up a yellow in the first half. This is a bit of a more controversial second yellow. The Virginia bench wanted it. They got it. Sergio Gonzalez gave him a second yellow and sent him packing for the match. So Virginia Tech is down to 10 men.
We're still on.
Yes, Coach, you still are on TV as we are down to the final 10 minutes. And we'll find out if Mike Brizendine will be celebrating a win or be walking away with a point and a draw with their rival, the Cavaliers. Just a reminder, it is sudden victory. Next goal wins the match. And if you get subbed out, you cannot come back in this match. If nobody scores in the 10 minutes, we call it a draw. Alongside Michael LaHood, I'm Dallin Cuff, here from Thompson Field.
As we open the second part of this OT, we see Donaciano coming in as a number 10. He was shifting in that midfield as the second half played on, but now he's out and out number 10 for Virginia.
There's Donaciano trying to step on the ball. Heavy first touch, and Kai Ignacio putting on some pressure on McDowell. Can't get it out. It might fall here. It does for Brett Halsey. Halsey tries to tap it forward. It pings around a bit. Eventually cleared out by Tech. Virginia has been playing a lot of hard-stopping games since last season. This is their fourth game in the last 5 matches that's gone into overtime. Obviously, their overtime win to start this season against Louisville. They ended last season in the national final, losing to Georgetown in penalty kicks after a wild, rainy 3-3 match. It was so entertaining. But they fell in that game and became the national runner-up. No penalties here tonight. There will be a winner or there will be a draw. Ignacio brings it down. Good tackle by McDowell. He's got Bird behind him, plays Bird.
Virginia's getting back to being patient. There's a lot of the same tactics that worked for them in the second half to be the aggressor.
Looking over the top for Horton. He's offside.
I like that from Virginia, though. Pushing the back line a bit. Horton's just offside there, but he's just testing the back line.
8 minutes to go from Blacksburg.
Second ball.
Come on, challenge. Second one. Come on, good. Come on,
Phil. Come on, Phil.
Fuck you. I'm not bit. Hey, we shift. Come on.
Spencer Patton stepping up. Looking for some options. Eventually tried to play it through to Horton. Is Virginia Tech setting up differently in this half? Do they think they're playing more for the draw? Are they setting up deeper?
I think they are. UVA woke up a bit to start this half versus the first part of the overtime period. And you see Tech lined up in that 4-4-1-1 with the big man up top with loads of pace. I think that the tactic is sit in 2 blocks of 4, and play balls over top for him to run onto.
This could be an opportunity. Strickler's got Blacklock wide open on the wing. He's eventually closed down. Still Blacklock. Good pullback. And dispossessed by Ignacio. Bird able to keep it from being a corner, and Shuttler, all he could do was get it out to touch.
Watch your short, Cozy!
Come on, Axel! Come on, Axel!
Here comes a long throw. It's giving them a little bit of trouble. See Haugley, big center back right there. That's who the target is. Can't quite get it there, but it's still bouncing around. Falls, and Gibert now has his head up. Gunnarsson.
Don't lose it there!
Ignacio to Bird. Bird finding Gunnarsson. Good turn on the ball. Shot deflects out for a corner. Gunnarsson's got good feet.
Man, Gunnarsson's really impressed as this game is worn on. He's doing the work defensively and offensively. Makes a smart run. Bird slips him in there. That's the guy you want on the ball right here. And he just can't get it off. Great block by the Virginia Tech defender.
Haugley, one of the captains there to knock it out. Second corner for UVA. As we cross toward 5 minutes. Outswinging ball. Headed down. Still loose. Uland! Saved by Zambetti.
Oh, thought that was the one there who was going to break this game. Uland with the ricochet. Gets a header. Ball goes to the back stick. The Gunnarsson with the near post flick. Missed clearance by Tech. Falls to Uland. That's not the guy you want to give the ball to if you're Tech. Save by Zambetti.
Uland actually had a header that would have won the Louisville game, but there was a foul called on Philip Horton. I would say a little bit of a questionable call, but Uland would have ended that game, had a chance to end this one. Didn't think he could get a lot of power on that as the ball was kind of pinging around.
Between Uland and Gunnarsson, those are the two targets you always have to keep an eye on if you're Tech on set pieces.
And that's Uland trying to play it out wide to Patton, who was making the run forward. Halsey's able to pick up the second ball. Halsey on it again. And then you see the 2 blocks of 4 that Michael was talking about. Red jerseys. A short pass by Halsey. Just lazy. Gilbert steps up on it, though. Ignacio trying to play Horton. Ignacio's able to turn, get the ball from his feet. Under 4 minutes to play here from Thompson Field. 1-1 this Commonwealth clash. It's been an entertaining match, but will we have a winner? Or will the spoils be split? Played forward, too much on it from Gerbig. Alongside Michael LaHood, I'm Dallin Cuff.
So in these big games that you like seeing that for Coach Briz, from your goalkeeper, you take the sting out of the game, allow your back line and that midfield block who's doing a lot of work to breathe. That'll make all the difference to see this game through.
Strickler drills it out wide to Blacklock. He cuts inside, finding Strickler now. Tough first touch. Comes back to Blacklock, though. McDowell able to step inside. McDowell, still McDowell. Can't get the shot off and eventually deflected out for a corner.
A good movement there by Tech. McDowell beats his defender, cuts inside. And I thought he should have taken that shot earlier, but decides to take the next man on and gets the corner and sets Tech up for a big opportunity on set pieces.
Andrew Weber checking in for Nick Blacklock. Again, if you sub out, you can't come back, so Blacklock's day is over. Weber, the junior, in swinging ball, low, cleared out by Gerben. Pereira on it. Thrown in quickly. Played in long. Still numbers forward for Virginia Tech. Might fall. Gerbig able to get a foot on it. Now Shuttler goes down easily. And Shuttler's staying down. And you see the UVA players asking for the clock to be stopped, and it is. And Christo Strickler's probably going to go in the book here, too. In the 109th minute.
A replay, ball gets whipped in. Ricochet in the box. And Strickler just backs into the goalkeeper. Didn't see much of
Bit of a
that
veteran move here from Shuttler. He's walking into him. I know Shuttler's, I mean, that's just a smart move from a veteran keeper, isn't it?
I think Strickler backed it up on him a little bit, but veteran move for sure. I think he made a meal of it, in my opinion.
Well, here we go. We're under 2 minutes now. Horton can't bring it down. And the foul on Horton. This is one of the times you'd want to see Nathaniel Crofts in this match if you're UVA. This guy knows how to win games. He's got 4 game-winning goals in career. He got picked up an injury again late in the Louisville game, so he's not available, and he's one of their best offensive players and a veteran that kind of shines in these moments for UVA.
I think Virginia has really missed Crofts tonight. They got the goal, but their attack hasn't been as sharp. And when you have a guy like that that's not there, you really feel the impact of it on the offensive end.
Who are you benefiting on that one? Why are you stopping?
1:04 to go, and you can hear George Gelnovich wondering why the clock is stopped. I'm wondering the same question. But we're back underway. Under 60 seconds to play. Khalil Dover, the goal scorer for Virginia Tech, on the ball. And that plays out for Tech, they say. It looked like it went off UVA, but, or should be off Tech, but doesn't matter. Pereira trying to ride the challenge. Oh, Daniel Pereira spinning into some space. He's got McDowell open to his left and plays him. Under 40. McDowell plays it in. Strickler rising. Doesn't come to him, but Dover's on it. Under 30.
No service! No service!
Trying to cut off the service to the box. Doesn't quite work as it goes across the box, and it's still tightrope walking the line. Under 15 seconds, and Pereira goes down. They will give him the free kick. And the clock's still running. Pereira's staying down, so now Sergio Gonzalez is stopping the clock. This is eerily similar to what we saw in UNC Clemson last week.
Pereira gets to the ball first, and clumsy tackle by a defender. You want in that play, Pereira gets there again. He turns his back to the defender, and he's trying to square him up, and the defender just lunges in. You don't need to do that. And now Tech, with 5 seconds left, has a chance to win this game.
Happened at UNC just last week. They score with 1 second to go on a Filippo Zatarin header to knock off number 3 Clemson. Could Virginia Tech knock off their rival number 5 Virginia at the death? 5 seconds to play. This is going to be it. Everybody forward, except the keeper.
Kaya, stay alert, Kaya! Top of the box!
Floated in, headed out, and that is your ball game. 1-1 is the final. Penalties saved, red cards, 2 goals within 60 seconds. Michael LaHoo, what do you take away from this one?
I think this is a fair result for both teams. First half, Virginia Tech was